Welcome to the second episode of Deconstructing the Matrix. I'm Steve Mack, and this episode is entitled Conservatives and Liberals Are Killing American Democracy. I just want to leave you with an initial thought. I feel like if we got rid of the two-party system, then everybody's IQ would go up 30 points automatically. Why is that? Well, it's because they got to think for themselves at that point. Right now, we are allowing the people who are controlling the matrix, the people in the media, the politicians who we've turned into demagogues, to control the way we think. Here is the truth. Sometimes there is a need for quote unquote conservative policies, and sometimes there's a need for quote unquote liberal policies. So let's discuss. Okay, first off, why does someone choose to call themselves a conservative or a liberal? Well, there's the real reason and there's the BS reason. So let's start with the BS, okay? Conservatives will tell you, well, they call themselves a conservative because they believe in limited government, fiscal responsibility, and individual rights, and law and order, family values, and they're pro-religion, right? That's their claim, okay? And the liberals will say, well, I'm a liberal or I'm a progressive because I believe in abortion's rights or personal freedoms or stopping the rich from cutting the poor out of the equation or social equality or pro-labor unions. So that would be their spiel, okay? Here's a problem. All of that is BS. The real reasons, I'll get to the real reasons and then I'll get to some of the subordinate reasons as well. But according to ushistory.org, the number one reasons why people will call themselves left, right, Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, blah, 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 are their parental influence, race, religion, and region. So a lot of these people think that they have chosen their political affiliation. And in most cases, they have just fallen in line to two-dimensional thinking, right? So those are the most significant factors. And then there's the secondary factors, which would be the herd mentality. Now, what is that? The herd mentality is basically the fact that there's safety in numbers and people just follow the crowd, right? That is another aspect of two-dimensional thinking, and people who have decided not to think for themselves.
Do we have a deal, Mr. Reagan?
You know, I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss.
Another reason is that, you know, there's some fear in being an individual thinker, right? You get exposed, or, you know, a lot of times in history, throughout history, individual thinkers have gotten the short end of the stick by murder or by political assassination or whatever, right? You can go back to Socrates. You can talk about people like, I don't know, Fred Hampton of the Black Panthers. Okay, you can talk about JFK, right? JFK was changing things, right? Whether you like it or not, they took him out. And then, people like Gandhi, right? So people who think individually and on their own and are onto something will tend to get exposed in some way or taken out. So there's a little fear for being an individual thinker.